Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Leisure, Culture, Tourism Cabinet Member meeting on Thursday, the 26th of November 2020. I am that Cabinet Member. My name's Robin Wood, and I think we now have a roll call of who's present.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dominic Monaghan. I'm the Democratic Services Officer for today's meeting. With me today, we also have Karen Squires and Lindsay Stevens from Democratic Services. We also have Councillor Repton, and then the other officers on the call today are Adam Spencer, Ben Clawson-Chan, Duncan Cowie, and Mark Elliott. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. First item is apologies. Have we any apologies? I think that's a no.
No apologies, Chair.
Thank you. The no late items be brought forward by the Chair. Are there any declarations of interest? Take that as a no. Item 4 is the minutes of the meeting held on the 25th of November 2019 for a similar purpose. Has everybody got a copy of that? And has anybody any amendments to it? Can I take those then as approved? Thank you. Item 5 is the Leisure, Culture and Tourism Department pricing schedule. It's this thing that comes up every year, and that is item 5. Is somebody going to introduce that to us?
Certainly, Chair, I can introduce that.
Thank you.
So the purpose is to provide an update on the leisure, culture and tourism pricing proposals for 21-22. This includes leisure centres, parks, events and council-run libraries. The recommendations we're seeking today are asking for approval of the proposed changes in the appendix and to approve delegating responsibility to the Strategic Director for Communities and Place and the Cabinet Member for Culture, Leisure and Tourism for future in-year changes if required. The aim is to both maximise income but also maintain value for money. These prices are annually reviewed. Inflationary rises outside of the prices that have risen outside of the inflationary 3 to 5% are just 2 this year. A 90-minute yoga, which has increased by £1 in line with competitors within the city, and our Learn to Swim scheme direct debit, which now includes badges and certificates and has also been benchmarked with other local authorities. Any pricing increases will be customers will be given 4 weeks notice. And Chair, thank you. That's all from the report.
Thank you. Has anybody any comments? Any questions on that, Martin? Can't hear you. You're muted. You're muted. That's better.
Yeah, okay, that's better. In terms of price increases, is there a general aim to increase the prices by a certain percentage? Is that in line with inflation, or because obviously you've had a massive reduction in income because of the lockdown, I guess? Well, I know because I've spoken to Claire Davenport.
Ben, would you like to answer that?
So the prices are a 3 to 5% inflationary increase there. That's what they're modelled against, and so the majority of prices have been risen by that amount. There are some that have been frozen, and then there's those 2 prices that have been increased slightly more.
Is it possible for me to have a copy of which services are going up by 3 to 5%? Is that possible at some stage?
Yeah, it's all attached in the appendix, but we can get that sent over again, and I'm happy to obviously go through that with you or the relevant officer, depending on the area you've got any questions. More than happy to.
Okay, fine. Thanks very much. And just in terms of the loss of income, which is it's hitting your department very hard at the moment, which is really regrettable. I mean, is the centre being understanding about that? So in terms of making up for those losses, or hopefully there won't be the same way you're going to have to consume your own smoke and you're going to have to make reductions in your own area to balance the books. What's happening centrally about your loss in income? Are the centre making that up?
Well, I think I can answer that. That of course is being taken account of in the budgetary process globally in the council rather than this specific department. But these prices this happens every year because we've had inflation every year, regardless of who's in control. And my way of thinking is if you artificially hold them down, you cut your own throat, because next year you're going to have to put them up by more than inflation. So it does make sense to do this particular small hop, which generally speaking the public expect and don't really complain about. We've done it most times, and of course we are in competition with the private sector with things like gyms. We're all in the same boat in that everybody's had the lockdown, but their prices go up, so it's unfair for us to try to undercut them or to overcharge. So the schedule, as I can see it, people have done a lot of work to put that together, and it's a reasonable recommendation. Anything you want to add to that, Ben?
No, I just agree and support the fact that it's being looked at as the wider council's MTFP process. And yes, the prices are done in line through benchmarking, looking at our competition, and also looking at ensuring we also give value for money for our residents. Yeah.
And I'd like to thank the officers for the work done in that. Yes, Martin.
Yeah, if I can just finally say, I accept. There's always been, when I was cabinet member as well, increases in line, roughly in line with inflation. I suppose my bigger concern, and it's a concern I'm sure you and your colleagues in leisure and culture and tourism share, is about that loss of income and about what help you'll get. That will become clearer, I guess, during the budget process.
Absolutely. And
okay, thank you.
And the ways of dealing with that will certainly come out, and it is something I and my cabinet colleagues, along with the officers, are working on day and night, really, at the moment. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Well, the recommendations 2.1, 2.2 are straightforward. I think it's only me that gets to vote on it, isn't it?
Yeah, just you.
Yes, in which case I accept the two recommendations, 2.1 and 2.2, and see you all again in 12 months' time. Who will be in this seat and who will be in your seat, Martin, is up to the electors, but we shall no doubt be around this table, or this virtual table. Let's hope it's a real one by then. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, and that concludes the business. Thanks very much.